Okay, so this is such a nice, easy project. All you need is webbing, and I'm using a 1-inch black webbing. Now you can see it is relatively thick, and all I'm going to do to combat that is slow the machine down. We all have the ability to slow our machines down. To start with, I've got my machine set up with water-soluble thread, and I use that so that I don't have to bother with unpicking at the end. I've also got black thread in my bobbin because it is going to match and hide a lot of the stitching on the back there. And the first thing that we're going to do is stitch out the outline to show exactly where to place our webbing. Now, I am using a 10-inch piece of webbing, which then when I fold it over will make a lovely key fob. And what I've done is I've just burnt the edges there so that they are not going to fray. And I'm going to come in. Now, I don't have to be perfect, but I want to get it approximately center. And I do want to get it as centered onto that outline as I possibly can. And then colorway 2. Just going to hold that down. Okay. So in my mind, this one would be perfect. A, to go with my little crossbody bag. B, because Barbie is all the rage at the moment. But you could use any text that you want. I am using a fluoro pink thread to go with my Barbie theme. And as I said, I've slowed my machine down to 400 stitches a minute. Okay, so what we've got now is our finished embroidery. Now, there absolutely are a couple of bubbles along here. Now, I'm not too worried about that because as we press it, they are going to go away. But what I am going to do is make sure that I'm trimming the threads between the words, and then just pull that off, and I want to come in and take away that excess stabilizer. Now, this is the back of our design, and once again, as we wet that down and then iron it, that's all going to come on straight. But how cute is that? Okay, so now we've got our embroidery all finished, and I've taken away all of the excess threads. Now, as I said, I could leave it like this, but I actually just want to give it that little bit more of a special long term beautiful piece of stitching. And to do that, I'm going to back it with a piece of fabric. And all I've done is cut a 2-inch strip of fabric, and then I've folded and pressed that in so that it is going to become the lining for my key fob. And all I'm going to do is cut that off. Now, I can do this 2 ways. I can sit here and just freehand stitch this on, or I can use my no heat basting tape to hold everything in place. So we're going to place the double-sided tape down, then we're just going to peel off the backing, get it just to the right spot, and then we lay our fabric over. Once we've done that and we're happy with how it's pressed down, put your sewing machine foot on and set the needle where you want that stitching to go. And I'm using the side of the plate there as my setting. Okay, now just to show a different way of doing it, on the other side I'm going to come through with my wonder clips or my quilt clips, and I'm going to use those to hold my fabric in place. Brutal honesty, I prefer the tape because I think it holds down. Okay, so now that we've got that done, that is looking beautiful as the inside. We've got our outside here. Let's move over and put it all together. And now our stitching's done and we're ready to put it all together. So the first thing I'm going to do is come through and trim off the rest of that fabric. Now I'm only trimming up to where the black strapping is, because remember I've already burnt the edges of that strapping. If you do cut the strapping, remember to burn it again so that it does not fray. Okay, once we have done that, we are ready to come through and we're going to put all of our pieces together. So make sure you've got that on the fold and you've got your nice key fob hardware there, and you need to decide. So you'll see you've got one side which is perfectly flat and the other side has the grippers on it. Generally speaking, the grippers are known as being the back part, but what we're going to do is we are going to thread that strapping through, and then we are going to use a pair of pliers to close that down. To make it more secure, what I am going to do is grab a little bit of PVA glue, and when I say a little bit, I do mean a little bit. We are not going to flood this. So just a tiny bit of PVA glue, and I'm just going to spread that all around so that it doesn't ooze out. And that's just going to help with securing our hardware long term. And by about 2 millimeters, I'm going to then flip or offset my strapping. And that is so that there's not a whole lot of bulk where that initial closure is. You still want to make sure that the gripping on the back side of the closure is fully gripping in, but just ever so slightly, and then take your pliers and close. Now I love these pliers. I can't remember, I think I got them on eBay, but I might have just stole them out of my husband's stash. But what I love about them is the fact that they have a plastic coating on them so they don't hurt the hardware itself. And I'm just coming down and really making sure that that is firmly held. And that's it. How fantastic does this look? So think about what your loved ones are into and make something that suits them. As always, thank you for joining us. Check out our YouTube channel, Facebook page and website for fantastic ways to make your sewing life amazing. Until next time, have a stitching day. Bye.